Pacelli and Boomer, the grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. You got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true. Spinning old tales about the stuff that went through. From Atari to Trek, they know every line. Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Like Pacelli's got a lightsaber, he swings it with pride. A Boomer's got a Game Boy, plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew. Talking Transformers, toys that twist and they turn. Singing blues for the geek life, the hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream. Talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Be Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. Fans in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Thundercats, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passionate bulk. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old. They're tuning in to hear stories that never get cold. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, toys in the box. Saturday mornings with cartoons that rocked. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Go Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream. Talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream. Talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they played, for the VHS tapes and the arcades of freight. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky Geezers keep the nerd fire alight. So tune in each week to the Geeky Geezers show. Pacelli and Boomer, let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news. They're singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Hello everyone, welcome to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Aged Boomer. This is my co-host, Pacelli, and this is our other co-host, Netter of Netters Network, aka the Geezette. Welcome, and we had a nice new song tonight. Did y'all in the chat like it?
Yes, please put in the chat what you thought of the new song. Yep. And also, if you wouldn't mind, show the love and give a thumbs up.
Yeah, we could use the thumbs up.
Give us a thumbs up, thank you.
And I'm going to say this several times during the stream today. If you're here and you're not already subscribed to Aged Boomer, make sure you are subscribed, especially if you're right now watching on his channel. All you got to do is scroll down a little bit, hit that subscribe button. For the rest of us, you would have to go over to his channel, but please do that thing.
And to those of you who think you're subscribed to a channel, always make sure that you still are, because sometimes you may think you are, and then you realize someone, maybe you somehow got unsubscribed from the channel that you regularly listen to. That happens. Yeah. But have a great stream. Rest in peace, Robert Redford. Thank you, Big Al. We'll be talking about that later tonight.
Absolutely, we will.
But yeah, still not started. Almost 12 hours late. What do you mean still not started? Do we have it set for the wrong time?
I don't know. It doesn't matter because it started now, and we're going out on all platforms, so we're fine.
I've just returned from the caves of Androzani, one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes of all time.
Was that
Peter Davison's last episode? Yeah. People complain about this, that all the characters in this episode are either evil or insane, and I said, "What's your problem with that?"
Yeah.
This is an example of the Doctor landing on a planet, and his curiosity got the better of it, and he just would have been better off going back into the TARDIS and going somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it was a great episode. It actually showed his heroic side. He actually was doing everything he could to save Perry's life, because he realized, I got her into this mess, I have to save her, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it cost him his own life, which he thought it would. And then we got Colin Baker, which we won't get into right now because I know you and Ned are having their own opinions.
That's a whole.
He gets better as time goes on.
He does.
Especially during Tribal Time Lord. Him and Perry get along by then, yes.
And himself, Colin Baker, cannot judge him by your first impression of him as the doctor, because he's a heck of a nice guy in real life. So yeah, it took me decades to warm up to that particular iteration of the Doctor. But as with so many franchises that we've loved in the past, things that we may not have cared too much for in the past seem so much better by comparison to the modern reboots and remakes and modern sequels to the stuff that totally trounce. I hated Superman Returns and the date assault kiss of his, and the Super Stalker with the X-ray peepers, and I was like, this is not Superman. And then I saw the Man of Steel, and I was like, okay, I want to go back to Super Stalker.
I was debating when after I'd seen Man of Steel, I was like, is this better than Superman Returns? Because I really did not like Superman Returns when I saw Man of Steel, and I realized that things can just be bad in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Like, for instance, we'll be talking about a Batman cartoon that's coming out, which I was like, okay.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay, so this looks horrendous in a different way than the current one they have on. I realize at this point a year in, you're not going to be watching Batman Cave Crusader, because I so wanted to talk to you about it. Like, for instance, the fact that I came to the conclusion by the end of that show that I think Batman is just another villain on that show.
Oh gosh.
Let's just say there's an instance where he made things worse for Harvey Dent, and I'm like, isn't this man in other incarnations your best friend, and this is how you treated him in this storyline? I mean, lemon pie. I don't know if I've seen you on the channel before, but welcome. Everyone likes a good lemon pie, don't they?
I think so. Lemon pie's been here before. Just haven't seen. Hasn't been around in a while, so I'm glad you're back.
Jessica Hardo, welcome. CluuStudio. I keep wanting to say Clue because of Clue Land, which was a Sega game for the Dreamcast.
Okay.
I think you were trying to trap mice in that. It was like a puzzle game. Trying to trap mice. Or were they space mice trying to get to a spaceship? I don't remember.
Those mice get everywhere.
Anyway, just going to sell some vintage vehicles for sale at a car dealership. There you go. Hopefully, there's not that you get a really good deal on one of them for your home.
Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but Boomer, you sound like you're at the other end of a tunnel.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, no, you sound fine now.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe I hit the thing. You know what? I think it's time for a new headset, maybe. So, welcome, JPRPH1, CluuStudio. Did I miss anybody else here?
Just towards the end, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
Always good to see you.
Yeah.
There should be a sports song sung by that same gentleman. You keep him away from Sophia.
Yes, I'll keep him away.
He's a Lothario, I can tell. He's gonna. I'm sorry. So anyway, that's Geeky Geezers for tonight. It's nice seeing y'all.
Take care, everyone.
Oh, wait. You want to bring up the presentation? Let's do that. Keep me on track. I heard a bag of something. You eating on the channel? Is that chips?
No, I was just throwing away some garbage. I had a salad. I'll have you know. I had a salad, and I was throwing away the bag now that I'm done with it.
I'm going to make y'all hungry. This is what I did today.
Mm-hmm.
She was busy.
I was busy, yes. I cut up some apples and bananas for dry to dehydrate for that, because Troy likes to nibble on those, and they're healthy. Then I proceeded to make Philadelphia cream cheese bread and Philadelphia cream cheese cheesecake, which both have finished. Also had a hand. Well, actually, I made a whole bunch of garlic butter, which Troy used to make garlic bread because we were all talking about that last night. So
Fresh loaf of Italian bread, cut it in half, just slathered it in
Mm.
garlic butter, sprinkled some grated Parmesan on top, and it is absolutely perfect.
it was so yum.
And if that doesn't work, if you're stuck at home and you have no garlic bread, you could just get out some toast, some butter, and see if you can find that garlic salt stowed away somewhere in the pantry.
In
That's how
in our much poorer days, that's what
that's
we
what you
did.
did. That's how you got your garlic bread.
When we were first
Uh,
married. Yeah.
Oh, Samuel Proctor's found a Facebook group that posts old comic house ads. You know what? That would be a fun thing to do either on a good old days or a Friday night. Look at all those old comic book ads. That's an idea.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Have for dinner 6 seared in butter, pepper, and garlic, and a cast iron skillet. Add roasted potatoes and spring. Now I'm getting hungry. Spring onions.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I had
Hey,
leftover
Tree Rock
Dominoes.
Creations.
I had leftover Dominoes. That was my welcome Tree Rock Creations. So oftentimes we talk about the good old days on this channel, and as this sort of ties into the final story of the night, I figured let's revisit. I don't even want to say a thing, a person really, an individual who brought a lot of joy to our lives growing up,
and it's coming up on that time of the season when I always think about him. Every year, I do a watch party of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It is my Thanksgiving movie. So every year on Thanksgiving, I do a watch party of it, and gosh, it's just 100% pure John Candy.
Well, yeah, it's one of the only two Thanksgiving movies I know of. The other is Home for the Holidays with Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr. and Charles During. He's in it too, which is a pretty good Thanksgiving
movie. We've done a watch party
movie.
of that as well. Yeah.
Another problem though, I think Beethoven. Actually, I heard recently. Apparently, Beethoven, the dog movie, is considered a Thanksgiving movie. Did you hear that? Know about that?
I don't remember even ever having seen the movie, so I don't know.
No, and I won't see it because it's that ginormous dog with the slobber, and that grosses me out to no end.
Well, don't watch Turner and Hooch then.
Yeah, well.
No.
But anyway,
dog slobber makes me ill.
Oh my gosh, it is a Thanksgiving movie. I see the whole representation is Beethoven sticking his head out with the turkey leg in his mouth from under the Thanksgiving table.
Welcome, Horror Cat
also
Dad.
A Turkey Day film according to the Horror Cat Dad.
We did a whole bunch of those Thanksgiving. I'm surprised we didn't get Beethoven, but we got a lot of the movies that you mentioned last year. Bonjour, Netter. That's a super chat.
Super chat from Geek Flag.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you, Geek Flag. Always appreciated. And Longest Running Superhero RPG. If you are not subscribed to this channel, be sure to check it out. He's got some cool stuff on there.
And I hope that CK is subscribed to Aged Boomer. As I've asked everyone, please make sure that you are subscribed to Aged Boomer. It is an absolute crime that he is under 400 subscribers. We need to get about 150 more subscribers for this guy.
Well, that's the goal.
In short order. Yes.
But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. We have John Candy here, and he was a delight growing up in the 80s. There are a lot of great comedic actors in the 80s. And thank you, Geek Flag, for the Hey Troy and Boomer as well.
Oh, there you go. Thank you so much.
Okay. But I remember though he was every time you do it. Okay. I remember though it was always a joy to see him on screen, and he would sometimes pop up in a small part or be kind of the headliner.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this at the time. I think he had got his start on SCTV. I think I had mentioned that when we did a good old days on SCTV. He was in a lot of those Count Foyd things when he would show Dr. Tongues.
Yeah. Which
was some series, and it always had Dr. John Candy as Dr. Tongue in the series, right? Like Dr. Tongue's House of Cats. Tormenting poor Catherine O'Hara, thing. Which is funny because they kind of reunite in Home Alone too, which we'll show in a little bit. But Yeah, I'll just leaf through some movies. Anything pops out. He was in the Blues Brothers. I've not seen the Blues Brothers in ages, but I forgot he was in that.
Yes,
right?
he was.
He was
Orange
one
Whip,
of the-
Orange Whip, 3 Orange Whips.
Yeah, he's one of the state cops.
Yep.
That are after the Blues Brothers, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, there he is with the sunglasses. Is he like a boss hog sort of character?
I suppose that's the role he's playing here. Thank you so much, CluuStudio, for $5 is saying John Candy and Steve Martin. Can you top that?
No.
Yeah, and I'm hearing some scuttlebutt about Steve Martin having possibly a little bit of sniffles that might be life-threatening. At least that's what you have to believe. Well, it's what you have to believe if you haven't been paying attention to science for the past 5 years. But a lot of people are real concerned about him. So, so I do wish the best for him, and I don't want him to be sick at all. But some people think that he's got a terminal illness because he caught a bug that we've all had over the past 5 years.
Even I caught it, or a variant of it. What up, people at the party? John Candy is an international institution. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Definitely.
And from everything I've heard, an absolutely wonderful person. You know, just...
Well, we're going to get into that because the last story night, there is a documentary now coming out about him and his life.
Looking forward to that more and more.
This is from Stripes. This was from a female mud wrestling scene. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Yes. So let me set the stage for you here. Bill Murray gets everybody, out. I don't remember if they had official leave or not. Doesn't matter. It's a comedy. They go into town and to have some fun. They go to see the mud wrestling, and they're doing the whole, I don't remember if you win some drinks or something if you can beat the girls or whatever. And they're like, "Hey, you should do this." He goes, "Nah, that's not it. Come on, man, you could do this. You're a lean, mean fighting machine." And they get him out there, and the girls are just clobbering him, and his buddies all, tell him, "You don't have to take this from girls. Come on, you're a tough guy. You're," and all of a sudden he just goes, "Ah!" and he clobbers them and clotheslines them and ends up taking their bikinis, and you see him holding up their bikinis right there.
Yes.
It is incredibly funny. It is incredibly funny.
This movie would not get made today.
No, it would not. No, it would not.
We eat you chicken.
And just so that you're aware, even though he's taken their bikinis, they don't show nothing. It's not as bad as you think. It's not all, Porky's here,
No. And Brewster's Millions. We forgot he was in that.
Yes,
and,
he was. He was the well-intending friend trying to help that almost caused him to lose the fortune.
Yes. Now Richard Pryor, of course, the headliner in this movie, but John Candy, great. He would sometimes be in movies as a great supporting character.
Yeah.
Against other comics. So,
sometimes even just cameo roles.
Yes.
And you'd be like, "Oh my God, that's John Candy!"
That's John Candy.
Only the Lonely.
Only the Lonely.
I'm gonna
that
have
was another great. He's got it in here. Okay.
We'll get to it. What the heck is this from?
Oh gosh, wait. I know this one.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah.
W Skid for Skid Row.
Yes, W Skid for Skid Row. Exactly.
That's funny. Let me see. Moving on to National Lampoon's Vacation, which he's the security guard at
a very small role. When they finally get to Wally World, he is the security guard telling them, "I'm sorry, we're closed," and he's like, no, you're not closed. You're opening up. I brought my family across the country. We're going to this. He goes, "I can't." And he pulls out a gun. And he's like, "That's not a real gun. That's a BB gun." And he goes, "Yeah, well, a BB gun can break your skin and give you a really bad infection." Then he shoots him in the ass.
I remember that. And he sold. This was funny. Yes, I remember that. There's Chevy Chase there. Moving on to, and of course, Spaceballs.
Barf.
Which I guess is the Chewbacca-esque character they have in this.
Yeah, he goes, I'm half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend."
There's a funny scene when he's in the diner and like the tail's wagging and it almost lifts up the waitress's skirt and she's, oh no, and he's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, it's got a mind of its own, you know. It's like,
Yeah, and then he laughs like I totally did that on purpose.
yes, I remembered that, but yeah, I remember Spaceballs, Barf, yes. Oh,
Right? No, Horkat's right. He says that's a Magnum PI.
Oh, I remember Spaceballs. That was
Yeah.
was that Bill Pullman in the lead as Lone Star, as I recall? Yes.
Yes.
Before Lost Highway, yes.
Yours.
All right, and moving on to, of course, The Great Outdoors. I don't have a picture. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture, but Dan Aykroyd is also in this as well.
Right.
But this is the what is it? The old 96er.
Right.
You can finish the old 96er. Your meal is on us, and they bring it out to him, right? And you know, I'm thinking he's going to get some serious meat sweats there, right?
I would imagine so, yeah.
And then he finally eats the last bite, and the chef or whatever comes out and says, "That's not the last bite." And he says, "What are you talking about? All that's left on the plate is gristle and fat." And then the guy said, "Uh-huh." And then suddenly John Candy's all horrified, and he's grabbing. He's like, "No, no!" And he's like, "Oh, he'll pull through, and we can throw some hats and some souvenir hats for the kids too." And he had to eat the gristle and fat, didn't he? He had to use the Did he run to the bathroom, and then the family ran out of the cabin they were renting for the summer?
I would, sure, absolutely. Holy cow!
Oh, I forgot to bring up Harry Crumb, but yeah, he was in Harry Crumb as well. I don't have that in the slideshow, but yeah, that's one I never watched. I should probably look into it. Yes, nothing but gristle and fat on that plate. I'm telling you, Great Outdoors, underrated John Candy movie. Annette Bening's in that. Do you remember?
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Surprising. Okay, and he was in JFK of all things. I don't know why I threw this up here. Not really a comedic role, but
right.
the Kevin Costner, Oliver Stone directed movie about the JFK assassination.
Right.
You know, a lot of the conspiracy stuff is in there. Moving on to, of course, Uncle Buck, where he is making a gigantic pancake. He's
making a layer of pancakes, all that size, because he wants to put together a birthday cake.
A birthday, and then he says, "Oh, you should have seen the toast. I couldn't even get it through the door." Remember?
Yep.
And little Macaulay Culkin jumps down the stairs and goes, "What is this?" And it's like this. So you know, it's like this uncle that's brought in to watch the kids because there's a family emergency with the one. I think with the father's with the grandfather. They have to go watch him because he had a stroke or something, or a heart attack. So they have to leave, and they leave Uncle Buck in charge of the kids. And he's not really. He likes to gamble and go to the dog track, and you know he's. Well, Macaulay Culkin almost upstaged, and yes, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he did have a cameo in Career Opportunities. He's the manager that the protagonist.
That's what I'm talking about.
With.
Those are the kind of cameos I was talking about. My favorite scene in Uncle Buck is he, because the parents aren't around to go into school. He goes in because his niece Millie is getting in trouble with the teacher for being
a flibbity-gibbet.
A flibbity-gibbet, yeah. And he goes in to see the principal, and the principal is this old woman with this big old hairy mole on her face. And he's like, oh. And it's like, he's trying not to say anything about the mole. And he's like, hi, I'm Buck Melanoma, Molly Russell's wart. Not her wart, her tumor, her pimple. No.
They did a similar scene like that in one of the Austin Powers movies, which I'm sure was a riff off that scene.
I'm sure it was a direct homage. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, a lot of fun, very, very fun movie. And that's the thing about these John Hughes movies. I keep thinking it's a John Hughes movie. I don't know if it was a John Hughes movie. It felt like a John Hughes movie, so I'm going to throw it into that category. But yeah, maybe he wrote the screenplay or something. But moving on to, we have Only the Lonely, which was a romance, oddly enough, with John Candy and Ali Sheedy, right? Yes. If memory serves. And Maureen O'Hara was in this as his mother.
Exactly.
And Anthony Quinn as the neighbor, right? The Anthony.
Right.
The neighbor. Yes, I remember this. kind of a nice movie. How he's having trouble. His mother doesn't really accept her, but he's found the love of his life, and I feel like his brother's trying to tear them apart.
Right.
And then they finally get together at the end. It's a nice romantic movie.
Well, it's because his family's Irish and she's Sicilian.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That's so ridiculous. No, because come on, man. How you're rooting for them. They pull through at the end too, and I like how he says to himself, "Don't screw this up." Right?
Yeah.
After he leaves her, and then you hear her saying to herself, "Don't screw this up." Remember that? Yes.
It is really sweet. Yeah.
Ali Sheedy was my girlfriend. Laugh out loud. Well,
then Clue, make sure you see the episodes of Psych that she was in. You'll really like that. Talk about crazy ex-girlfriend.
She was also in Man's Best Friend, which the less said about that, the better. About the killer dog. Yeah. Anyway, but no, she was in a lot of movies. She was in a lot of John Hughes movies too. John Candy's best scene ever was in the movie Armed and Dangerous, where he pulled out a 50 caliber AAE revolver and stopped the bad guys with a big truck. I need to look for that movie. See, some of these I haven't seen.
I know I've seen it, but some of them just kind of run together in my memory, Yeah.
But I remember seeing this one in the theaters. I heard a story recently that John Candy did want to do some leading man stuff and was sad the studio wouldn't let him. But that's interesting. Which I guess in this way, this movie on Lonely is the closest he got to being like a leading man. Right?
I guess.
I mean, it still has comedic points, but it's really just a love story.
It is, exactly.
So moving on to Home Alone.
Yes.
There's a brief bit in this as the polka. He's in a polka band, right? And
exactly.
They're on the road and I get the impression that some of these scenes in this movie with him in it, I have a feeling that I think we forget that. I know there's scripts, but there's also improv, right? And I wonder if a lot of this dialogue was improvisational. Like
the whole idea behind SCTV was that those guys were original. Well, guys, I mean non-gendered, right? The guys and the girls were in an improv group together.
Yes,
that's how it all started. That's where all that kind of humor comes from.
Yeah, and I
so
think,
you throw a script at them, and they just see that as a suggestion. That just tells them the outline of the story you're telling. They're going to fill in the details themselves.
Exactly. And like I said, there was a scene where he was talking about all the guys and how they were not the best parents in the world, not the best dads, right? How right. And he said how me, we left our oldest son, we went to our uncle's funeral, and we left him there at the funeral parlor and forgot about it, and then he spent the night there or something with the dead body, and we felt terrible about it. But then a few months later he started talking again, so it works out.
Yeah, exactly. Basically making the point, kids are resilient,
I mean, I part of me thinks that whole story was an improv thing, but it was brilliant.
I'm sure it was, but that's why it was so classic. And then you look at that look on her face. It's like, I don't think that's acting either. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. We didn't do this in rehearsal.
they're in like a meat truck. That's their transportation or something, and he's playing polka while they're sitting down, and while he's trying to get back.
Right.
Oh, back to that, yeah. But moving on to, just going to do our final one of the night, which of course is your favorite.
My absolute favorite, yeah. That's another one where he's talking to Del Griffith, right? And he's talking, and he's finds out that Steve Martin's he wants to get home to his kids because his daughter's supposed to be in a recital or whatever. Those are the formative years. You can never get those back. And you're sitting there going we know. That's why he's trying to get home. You're not helping here.
What I love about this movie is it's not just Del Griffin, though. It's also, forget the Steve Martin's character name.
Why do I always forget? Del Griffith and
Neil Page.
Page, right.
Neil Page,
right. And I see when you start the movie with Steve Martin, you're supposed to relate to him, right? But by the end of the movie, it's John Candy who's now your protagonist. I don't think it was intended exactly that way, but I feel that's how it comes.
It kind of flips at the end. I didn't even think about that.
It does. It's you're rooting for Steve Martin to get home to his family and his wife, and by the end of the movie, you are with Steve Martin wanting to support Del Griffith because he needs somebody. You know,
and he takes him home for Thanksgiving, and I'd like to think they still remain friends after that, and all went well. I wish John Candy and Chris Farley was still around. So do I. Miss Chris Farley a lot too. They used to bounce him off of David Spade. That was what they used to do with him, and
the brightest candles burn out fastest, they say, and I think especially after the past couple weeks. When we lose someone way too soon, they tend to have had the biggest impact on us.
Yeah. Even to this day, whenever someone brings up John Candy, Steve Martin, he's smiling because he is remembering him, and he almost starts to cry. Oh.
He does. I've seen so many interviews like that. It's like you could almost make a drinking game out of it.
Franchise Automobiles is the greatest Thanksgiving movie made. Probably because it's the only one, but it's still a great film. Well, it's not the only one. It's one of three.
But it is. I think it is I think it's absolutely the best Thanksgiving movie.
Have there been more Hanukkah movies than Thanksgiving movies at this point? I'm thinking
there may be. I am brutally in ugly tears by the end of this movie. I really am. Between just the story and the reunion at the end, and the song, and a little bit of projection on my part, I'm sure, and that freeze frame on a legend who's no longer with us. You know,
it's sad.
It breaks my heart every time.
I was in the 8th grade when John Candy died. It was truly sad. So was I. There's certain celebrity deaths. I remember when Phil Hartman died too, especially because of the circumstances. That
was a huge shock. Yeah,
that bothered me. That put me in a mood the whole summer because I was upset about, because I was a big Phil Hartman fan too from SNL.
Yeah,
and just not happy about
when
it.
You heard that John Candy died from a heart attack, you're brokenhearted, but at the same time you're like, okay, I guess I'm not that surprised. Same thing when Chris Farley died, although then you find out drugs were involved as well. And I'm like, okay, yeah, exactly, you know. But that doesn't make it any less tragic. But it also kind of tells you something. I think that Chris Farley and
John Candy.
John Candy, but I was going to say, and John Belushi as well.
Belushi, that's what I'm thinking
to a certain extent.
Okay, yeah.
To a certain extent. All three of those guys. They were great entertainers that made people laugh so much, and all three of them, if you ever saw interviews and whatnot with them, you get the impression that was their goal. They liked to make people happy. They liked to make people laugh, and yet you also realize that it was partly because they were dealing with their own sadness in life that they were struggling with. That's what pushed them into comedy, and possibly also pushed the excesses in their life that led to their downfall.
Yeah, it is sad, but we still have his movies, and like I said, there's some of his I haven't even seen, so I should maybe look them up and see if maybe there's a classic I've yet to watch with him in it. But
yeah.
All right, moving on to the news of the evening.
Oh, these two old farts. Okay.
Yes, you know, I didn't feel that old till I started doing this stream. Anyway, moving on.
I know, right?
Robert Redford, another celebrity death. Wow. Dead at 89. Robert Redford, the acting idol, best known for roles in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and All the President's Men, has died. He was 89. In his
best president the Marvel Universe ever had.
Best president?
He played the president in the MCU.
I thought he was like a director. No, he's director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What? No, I don't think so.
No,
I thought he was the
president. No. You know
the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. is Nick Fury.
Yeah, but he was all right. Maybe he was a senator that was involved with Shield. He wasn't the president.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Because the one who played the president was the one who was on who played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Remember, whatever his name was.
Oh, I didn't realize
he was in Iron Man 3. Yeah, no,
Okay.
he actually. You're right though. He wasn't. He wasn't the director of Shield. He was a high up guy in the government, maybe a U.S. senator or something.
Oh, he's saying Pierce was Fury's boss. Yeah, see, I this just shows how closely I followed this stuff.
You know what it was? I think Fury's was in charge of Shield, but then of course there were other people he had to answer to, and I think one of them was Robert Redford because he was an elected official, and then you find out he's really Hydra. Spoiler.
Well, especially when you find out, you think that Nick Fury's like all a tough guy and everything, then you find out he lost his eye like a punk to a cat. It's like
that was so annoying. It contradicts what Nick Fury says.
Yeah.
And what was it? I think it was in Winter Soldier where he says, I lost this because I trusted somebody.
Because I trusted somebody.
Yeah, he was talking about trust because actually, for all my picking on Captain America, I'll admit Steve Rogers makes some great points in the movie when he's looking at all the weapons they're developing and about how we can intercept people before they even do anything. He's saying this isn't freedom, this is fear. When he's pointing at all this, and he was right.
Yeah,
of course, it turned out it was Hydra behind all of it. What?
Yeah, Netter has her own problem for not caring for Nick Fury.
Yeah, Nick Fury lies. He had destroyed Coulson's collectible cards that he can't get anymore because he was being a jerk.
Yeah, that's my geek girl. She knows how important a guy's collectibles are to him.
Yes.
That's why I have a 6-foot Millennium Falcon in my garage.
Oh, Secretary of the World Security Council, Nick Fury, close friend, director of Hydra.
Oh, he's WEF. Screw that guy. Never mind. Let's move on.
Anyway, what was I going to say? Let's talk about Robert Redford. Okay, statement.
Yeah,
Robert Redford passed away on September 16th, 2025, at his home at Sundance in the mountains of Utah, the place he loved, surrounded by those he loved. He will be missed greatly. The family requests privacy, Berger said. Born in 1936, Redford studied acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Like many performers of his era, he got his start on the stage. He made his Broadway debut in 1959's Tall Story, then appeared later in The High Tree. In 1960, he starred in Little Moon of Alban, and the following year in Sunday in New York. He also starred in Nothing in the Dark, a memorable 1962 episode of The Twilight Zone, in which he played a wounded cop with a secret opposite, a frightened and skeptical opposite Gladys Cooper. Maybe I think I read that sentence wrong. I don't know. But in his performance in 1963 as uptight newlywed Paul Bratter in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park, that gave the actor one of his early signature roles. In the stage version, he appeared opposite Elizabeth Ashley, and he later played the role in the film version, co-starring Jane Fonda. Redford's big break on screen was George Roy Hill's seminal crime film, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The California native went on to be one of the most enduring figures of New Hollywood period, with leading roles in classic movies such as All the President's Men, 3 Days of the Condor, The Sting, The Great Gatsby, and Sidney Pollack's Out of Africa. I'm a big fan of 3 Days of the Condor. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, of course I have.
There's some shady stuff in that movie.
Oh, yes. In
like
fact,
a shadow government.
Robert Barnes on his premium channel just did a rewatch of that. He likes to do movies that are topical for educational reasons.
Yes.
But what I will say too, they're not going to bring it up in this article, I can guarantee you. I don't care about his MCU role because I don't care about the MCU anymore, guys. I really don't.
He was good in it, though.
In a different world, he would have been Superman. Did you know he's one of the ones considered before they went Christopher Reeve?
I wonder.
And you could almost see it.
I can almost see it. His hair, though, it's more blondish, right?
Oh, they could have darkened it.
I guess they would have had to darken his hair. I mean, I guess I could have seen him as Superman, but I'm glad they cast Christopher Reeve.
I am too. In
fact, I don't know who would I have. What superhero would I cast Robert Redford as?
When he was young enough, he could have been Captain America himself.
Yeah, there you go. He got the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Barack Obama during the Presidential Studio. Obama said Redford captivated audiences from both sides of the camera through entertaining motion pictures that often explored vital social, political, and historical themes. Okay, so rest in peace, Robert Redford. Yeah.
I also wanted to say I was. It was literally last week when I realized that he was the one behind the Sundance Film Festival, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, Sundance. And that's when I made that connection. And it's like, oh my gosh, it was so obvious. How did I go all these years not even realizing that?
Oh, Sundance. I didn't know that either. Now I didn't know that either. You just, wow. Robert Redford as Green Lantern. That I could have seen. Hal Jordan.
Yeah. Even as he's getting old, look at the gray on the temples. He would have made a great Hal Jordan. That's actually a really, really good call. Yeah.
Reed Richards.
I wouldn't wish that on any actor at this point now. They've so ruined the Fantastic Four.
They had one shot to fix it, and they totally blew it. I don't even want to. You knew who the audience wanted, and you deliberately teased it, and then didn't go with it. Yep. You had good relations. You had good relations with his wife too. Emily Blunt could have been an Invisible Woman.
I don't
know who runs things over there. Well, we know who runs things. It's Feige and the other idiots.
I am getting more and more jaded and more and more bitter, and I am just eagerly awaiting the Schadenfreude when Doomsday bombs. I really am.
It's looking like a disaster.
Actually, Jesse makes another good point. Green Arrow. If he actually grew in the beard and mustache, I would say absolutely spot on. Yeah.
The Green Arrow.
Yeah. Oh, this effort.
Okay, yeah. ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel Show off the air indefinitely over Charlie Kirk comments. This is the big story of the week.
So just to remind everybody, this is a weekly news show that we do here, and this happened like right after we had done Geeky Geezers last week. So we've been sitting on this for a week, and we've been able to, over the past week, see all the fallout and all the crap takes on this. Did you see? I caught myself. Over the past
mushrooms,
week.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly. Mushroom takes. Okay. On Tuesday, May 13th, 2025, at North Javits in New York City, an incredible roster of all-star talent will tout their connections. That is a completely wrong thing. Okay, never mind. ABC on Wednesday pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely over its host's controversial comments linking the alleged killer of conservative activist Charlie Kirk to President Donald Trump's MAGA movement. Trump praised the move, which came hours after Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr suggested ABC broadcast license was at risk because of Kimmel's remarks. ABC is a subsidiary of Disney. Just before ABC's announcement, Nexstar Media Group said that its stations are affiliated with ABC would preempt Kimmel's show for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show because of the host's statements. Nexstar is seeking FCC approval for its planned $6.2 billion merger with Tegna. About 10% of the approximately 225 ABC affiliate stations are owned by Nexstar. Tegna owns about 5% of ABC affiliate stations. ABC spokesman on Wednesday night said Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely. A person familiar with Kimmel's situation told CNBC that the popular late night show, the show host, has not been fired. I did want to bring that up. I think people are saying that he's been fired. It's not that he's been fired, it's that his show has been put
here's
on
the other problem. Here's the other problem with what he's saying now, as opposed to what he has said in the past. Mr. Hypocrisy here. WDW Pro has been doing a great job of bringing the receipts. And if you look at Jimmy Kimmel's own words, when Tucker Carlson lost his position on Fox, when Roseanne Barr was removed from the Roseanne Barr show, right? All of the things that he said about them can now be applied to him. And if he doesn't agree, then he's just an effing hypocrite. Because the same argument came up with Tucker Carlson that said, okay, so they're saying that he's not fired. Well, he's not working with them anymore. They've been separated, so that's the definition of fired. And they've been playing that like over and over again. It's like, look, Yeah, technically maybe he's not fired, but you said that's what fired is, my friend. So which is it? Were you lying then or are you lying now?
But a person familiar with Kimmy's situation told CNBC that the popular shows, okay, we already said Disney brass plans to speak with Kimmel about what he should say when he goes back on air, according to the person familiar with the situation. And wasn't I hearing, according to deleted scenes, he was doubling down?
Yes, he was.
What else did I want to make a point about, though? Okay.
Here's the other thing that everyone else is pointing out. They want to make this all about cancel culture and about censorship. And the fact is that this isn't something that was mandated by the government. This was a decision made by Bob Iger, of all people.
Iger and people, we're going to get into that in a minute. People on the left have been chewing him out. It's funny. Normally, we're the ones screaming at Iger.
That's right. We'll get into it. But why is he doing it?
Because the affiliate stations that are owned by companies say, no, we're not putting them on the air. We're done.
And we'll get to that. But yes, it's not like he's taking some sort of a big, partisan stand here or anything. He is a feckless guy who only makes the right decisions when he literally has no other choice. And the ratings on Kimmel have been so bad. The show has been on cancellation watch ever since we heard about Colbert. So this isn't that he's being canceled because of what he said. It's like this was the friggin' 10-ton weight that broke the camel's back. It's like the camel was dying already, and somebody put it out of its misery already.
So, I want to bring something else up too here. Well, yeah, there's that going on too. They have been doing well, but I remember when I was in my first comp classes as a young lad at a community college. All right, many moons ago, and I had to do a report on a government organization, right? That was one of the tasks we had to do. So I said, well, you know what? Movies and TV interest me. I'll pick the FCC. And what I learned about when doing this report was that the FCC treats the airwaves as public property.
Right.
This is why you're not allowed to do certain things at certain times of the day. You're not allowed to do the all because these are owned by the public, apparently. Right. And I suspect that if Iger wanted to, he could give Jimmy Kimmel a show or just have it on Hulu and not broadcast it on TV.
Everyone has been saying they could right now immediately start airing his show on Disney Plus if they so chose.
Yeah, or Disney Plus, the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the public airwaves are something else, and he delivered a deliberate falsehood.
Yeah.
There's no bones about it. He was tying it back to MAGA. This killer had nothing to do with MAGA, all right? And you could say we don't, if he wanted to be...
Which is funny because he comes out and he says, and I don't say anything that's untrue. We have a whole staff of people that double check to make sure if what we're saying is true. And it's like, well, then you should fire them all because they're doing a crap job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've not been a big fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I think
I never was. I never liked anything he ever did. I didn't even like him on what was it, The Man Show or whatever it was he was on.
No,
I never liked this.
Adam Carolla carried him on that show. Let's be honest here.
Adam Carolla was the show.
Yeah,
there was no show without Adam Carolla. That's why I still like Adam Carolla.
I mean, there's in some late night shows I've liked Conan. I like Craig Ferguson. I liked him. I don't know if he's
Craig
still on
Ferguson was the best.
Yes.
Since Johnny Carson, in my opinion.
And I don't know. And it's
I would laugh so hard at Ferguson, I would be in tears some nights. And what was even funny was when he would, and was his show live? Because I remember watching it, and he'd be bleeped. He'd say something, and it would get bleeped, and I'm like, this is a live show. How are they doing that? Unless he had planned it, like he's got a thing that he hits to bleep himself.
Well, probably that's what they did. I know that there is a delay too.
10 to 15 second delay.
Well, there's that, but the funniest part about it was
something they planned. Yeah.
When he would be bleeped out, it's not just a beep or something like that. It was like a quack noise, or it was something so funny. It's like I would laugh harder for the editing than I would have if he'd have actually said whatever the thing was he was saying.
Yeah. Funny. Trump on Wednesday night suggested that NBC follow ABC's example with Kimmel and cancel its own evening shows. Tonight Show with starring Jimmy Fallon and Late Night with Seth Meyers. Yeah. I'm not a Seth Meyers fan, and Jimmy Fallon. How do I put this down?
Oh, that explains it. Nate says Craig Ferguson's show was filmed an hour earlier than it aired most other nights' shows.
I see.
Okay. Okay. So it was pre-recorded essentially, which allowed for that, which is,
Anyway,
I even remember he had a guest on who said something about. She's like, can I swear? And he's like, oh, it's fine with me. And she says a word. Of course, it gets bleeped out. He goes, that's okay. They'll just bleep it out later.
Is he still on the air, or is he gone?
I think he's gone.
They got rid of all the talent. That's what happened. They got rid of
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. If he's too good, they got to get rid of him to make room for these,
Conan, that was a debacle with Jay Leno not leaving the main spot and then wanting it back, and then Conan being kicked to the curb. Or Conan just left. I think he got angry and did his own thing on TBS.
I kind of don't blame him, but yeah.
What a disaster. It's the end of late night. I guess we're the new late night.
In a way, I suppose we are. That's true.
I guess YouTube, that's where you go for your light. Or Greg Gutfeld. I know people like him, but that's on Fox.
Yeah.
But just ridiculous. I don't care. I think... I don't know what this is. Was he living in a bubble or something? Did he saw
they
what
all
happened
do. Yeah.
He saw what happened with Colbert. This is the time to ease up a bit, okay? Instead, he doubles down and doesn't, probably stupider than how Colbert would have done it. And now he ran his mouth, and he got into trouble over it with the affiliates, and it's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so actually we should probably, I've spent so much time talking about Ferguson, we should probably talk about, what actually happened. So this wasn't, it didn't start out as a mandate from Bob Iger and Disney saying, no, this isn't acceptable. This was the local affiliates. This was
Nexstar.
What was it? Nexstar.
Yeah. And I think they're worried about the wrath of the FCC, or maybe they just decided, no, he violated, and they were just following the law.
Yeah, absolutely. And they also realize, I think a lot of people, even if they might have agreed with him, are going, yeah, the optics here, we can't, there's just too much heat. We got to stop this. There is no good that can possibly come of this. And,
listen. Do you mind if I read this quote? Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in the communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time. We have made the difficult decision to preempt the show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move toward the resumption of respective, constructive dialogue. This is Andrew Alford, president of Nexstar Broadcasting Division. I hate to say this, most people, especially like this guy, they're probably not trying to be extreme political on either side. They're trying to run a business. They're trying to run TV stations, and you have people, the entertainers, that don't realize their rules you have to follow with these shows, and they've been ignoring them for too long, and they're just done. It's done. That's what I think.
And the problem is that either he's a liar or he's incredibly ignorant, and neither one is really a good thing. If he really believes the things he's saying, then he's an idiot. I would prefer to assume that he's just a liar, and he's pushing whatever the agenda is he's trying to push. But that doesn't make him any better. Yeah. I did not know this, but I can totally believe this, that Craig Ferguson and Peter Capaldi were in a rock band together, Capaldi on guitar and Ferguson on drums, and their best friend was on keyboard. Well, I know that Capaldi has played guitar on Doctor Who, and yes, that was him playing guitar.
I believe it.
And I did know that Ferguson had been in a band. I did not know that the two were together, but
makes sense. They're both from Scotland, right?
Yeah. They're both from the same general neighborhood. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
But
welcome, Leia Plus Size to the chat, by the way.
hey, welcome.
And Jay Eldridge.
And Accounting Sheep, welcome. But yeah, so they have obviously lost their audience. They have obviously lost the main normies in the entertainment industry to go after a modern audience, and now they're losing that modern audience as well. They have no audience left now.
In the aftermath of the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live by Disney-owned ABC, She-Hulk herself is speaking out. Tatiana Maslany, star of Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which aired on Disney Plus, is urging people to cancel their subscriptions to Disney services. I'm sorry, I think that's huge, considering that it was her show that was used to promote these Disney services, and now
True.
she's telling people
However,
to cancel them.
There's a lot of people speculating that the only way she would be coming out and talking like this is if she's no longer with Disney anymore.
I thought she was supposed to be in Doomsday, or was that a rumor going around?
That was a rumor. They've rumored that everyone is going to be in Doomsday.
Okay.
The fact is that I would be surprised if she is, but then again, I'd be surprised. Anything they do, I don't know. I've given up trying to second guess Marvel at this point.
She's done with Disney after that.
She absolutely is done. She knows that her career is effectively over with Disney. So this is just sour grapes on the way out. These neo-Marxists are all spoiled children, is what they are. And they're just throwing a tantrum because they lost their jobs.
It's weird how they threw Gina Carano to the wolves, and yet this actress is deliberately trying to torch their service.
Yeah.
Okay, Maslany wasn't the only one. Rosie O'Donnell called for a boycott of ABC, parent company Disney, and their advertisers.
Who?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Who's that?
I don't remember.
Seriously, who gives a crap about her?
Okay. Former Congressman Adam Kinzinger wrote in his 1 million X followers this morning,
Former tells you everything you need to know about him.
When government intimidation and corporate cowardice meet, free speech dies. Boycott ABC and Disney until they stand up to Brendan Carr's censorship. Again, it's not Brendan Carr; it was the affiliates that shut this down.
Have their Twitter accounts been taken down? Have they been kicked off of Facebook? Have they been kicked off of Blue Sky? Are they not allowed to be interviewed? Because I remember when that happened to people. You know, that's free speech, and none of these people spoke up for any of them, right? Yeah. But when a network says, "Yeah, no, the ratings suck," and the viewership has spoken, you're gone. That's not free speech. That's not cancel culture. That's consequences culture.
Bob Iger can really fix her by giving She-Hulk the Willow treatment and just disappear show off the streaming service to get no residuals. I guess, but they're not going to be able to do that tax nonsense they did with Willow, right? They can't do it as a tax write-off now because it's too late.
No, it doesn't. No, they can't. But what they can do is remember these people that have been in these shows have been fighting for residuals. When a show is continuing to show on a streaming platform. So if you get rid of the show, you can stop paying her.
Kimmel's free speech has not been affected. He is free to go to colleges and shows for free.
And he could friggin' get a YouTube show.
Here's what I understand. Isn't this other side always saying, "Oh, I believe in free speech, but you're also the consequences of that free speech or whatever." And I'm like, well, that's what is going on here.
You made a great point about the FCC. The FCC maintains the airwaves for the public, right?
Yes.
You have a right to free speech. You don't have a right to be carried over the public airwaves by the federal government. Just like I have a right to carry a gun, but I do not have the right to have one provided to me by the federal government. I have to pay for it myself.
Exactly. Cancel Disney Plus when you cancel, leave feedback. I'm canceling because Jimmy Kimmel was rude. Who said that? That was box office tracking firm Exhibitor Relations. Who are they?
I don't know.
Transparent star Amy Landecker, who was married to West Wing's Bradley Whitford, posted an image of the cancellations page of Disney Plus Apollos. Okay, so I heard there's more outcry than just what I've shared here, though. I know it seems like it's only a few people. It's actually a lot of people in Hollywood are very angry at Disney over this. Are angry at Bob Iger. They've now turned on Bob Iger. So was it worth it, Bob?
Exactly.
Was it worth throwing the audience under the bus and screaming at the audience and people who complained that just wanted a halfway decent Star Wars movie or Marvel to be on track and to knock off the nonsense and the weird stuff in the kids' movies, the children's movies, and now what? Now your precious left audience is now turned on you. So what does that leave him with?
Exactly.
Why is he still there?
Right.
I remember in the past you thought it was an ego thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
Because what else is he going to do, I guess?
I don't know. Play golf. Isn't that what they do when they retire? I don't know. I guess we have anything left to say of the Jimmy Kimmel thing? Any final words?
No. Good riddance.
Good old She-Hulk there. Okay. Some Nintendo news that you might even appreciate because it's not Nintendo.
Hey, there you go.
40 years after it launched, this fan-made remake has given us the ultimate way to play Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers recently turned 40, and Nintendo is celebrating this fact with a wide range of releases, but one thing it's not doing is updating the original 1985 outing. If you're sore about that fact, then rest easy. A fan-made remake is available that transforms the first Super Mario outing into something even more remarkable. Thanks to Gaming Reinvented. The open source Super Mario Bros. Remastered is described as a quote-unquote remake that's a celebration of the original Super Mario Bros. Games with new levels, custom modes, new characters alongside full-level editor, custom level design. This remake doesn't just focus on the original game, however, it also remakes Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, Super Mario Bros. Specials, and All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. From the ground up, all in HD, but still maintain the classic look. You'll also find improved physics, better level design, custom characters, and resource packs that allow you to customize the game's look and sound. You'll need a Super Mario Bros. NES ROM to run this project, as none of the original assets are contained in the source code, unless, of course, they were made by the team behind it. So, interesting. You still have to have an NES ROM of Super Mario Bros., and I guess...
Yeah, that's interesting.
You have to be careful where you find those online, because Nintendo is watching and probably wanting to take this thing down regardless. But, I guess of course, Super Mario Brothers cartridges are pretty easy to find if you need to find one. But yeah, it looks neat. That's what I'll say. It's the kind of game I wish Nintendo was putting out. I always gave points to Sega because when I think Christian Whitehead was working on his Ultimate Edition of Sonic CD, he wanted to add levels to it, and basically Sega said no. But we will let you make a brand new 2D Sonic game for us. We'll put you in charge of it, and then we'll release it. So he actually got to work officially with Sega on a project, which was kind of neat. And he also supervised the remastering of Sonic City without his added levels, because they didn't want them adding levels to the original design, but said, you can take those levels you made and put them into an original Sonic game that you'll make for us. That was cool.
So
yeah.
I think you know this about me, that I'm not nearly as well versed in these games as you are. Okay. But as I look at this picture,
widescreen, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I see the image of Mario there. Is that what he looked like in the original Super Mario? Because the reason I ask this is because he also looks so much like the original Mario, although he wasn't called Mario at the time, in Donkey Kong.
Yes. You start out the game, he's very small. When you get a mushroom, he gets big, and that's where you see the more classic version of him where he's larger. And hence the Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers. For instance, before Super Mario Brothers came out, there was a game called Mario Brothers, which was just him the same size of him and Donkey Kong. And that was also the introduction of Luigi, his brother, in that game. And that was him going around the sewers and horrible things were attacking him, but it was not the Mushroom Kingdom yet. He didn't get there yet.
Gotcha.
And now in this game, this is where he starts out small and gets the mushroom. This is a very slick-looking homage to the original Super Mario Brothers. It looks very cool. As you've said in the past, sometimes the fans are making the best stuff, right?
Exactly.
And this looks
I
like
even noticed that
fireball
fireball on there looks just like the fireballs from Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, the same guy made both games. The same
right.
Jiro Miyamoto. And it would be cool. Nah, the ultimate way to watch Super Mario Bros. Is to play on original NES, original cartridge on a working 80 CRT TV. Yes. We'll touch on that next week. We're posted that about Alyssa Milano. That'll be fun for next week. This will be the gift that keeps on giving. But yeah, anyway, Super Mario Brothers. If you're into these sort of things, I have to tell you, the fan community is doing amazing things with these classic games. There was some guy out there that made a version of Metroid where you can, looks like the NES game, but they give you a map. They give you all the assets later Metroid games gave you.
Oh wow!
I've heard people mess with old Castlevania games. It's cool, and this looks cool. And I wish I had a way to play it actually, because I don't really PC game. I guess that's how you would play it. But I might have to look into getting a PC at some point. I doubt I can play it on my Mac, right? Anyway, moving on to and this is the regular Nintendo news of the week. Now, to be fair, I don't know if this is rumors or if this is really happening, but it's a new report states that Nintendo of America is cutting loose around 200 long-time contractor jobs as it has decided to outsource its customer service support services ahead of the Switch 2's first holiday season. This report comes from IGN's Rebecca Valentine, who spoke to numerous customer service support staff and sources under anonymity. Many confirmed to the outlet that they were told back in March 2025 that their contracts were being cut and gradually being phased out. None of the contractors had received direct communication from Nintendo itself, hearing instead through their agencies about the news. Now these contractors are expected to train their replacements, many of whom are based in South American countries, primarily in Brazil, Argentina, and Nicaragua. These have previously been limited to first-time contacts who act as representatives to send the information and problem on to the main team in the U.S. There are concerns from sources that there will be the immediate term be a drop in quality of support, which there will be, particularly once the fully trained agents leave, with the big end seeming to prioritize saving. There's something rotten at Nintendo right now.
Yeah. Outsourcing should always concern you. Yes.
Why are they needing to save money? They're making money hand over fist. This is just greed. That's all it is. That's what this is.
I have to question whether or not they're really making as much money as you might think they are. I do think a lot of people are starting to get tired of their BS.
Yeah. The new contractors all speak English. Some IGN said there was a number of communication issues internally, with an increase in customers becoming irate, belligerent, and even racially abusive. It's just like when you think oh my goodness, this is not going to be good. And Nintendo American response to IGN has stated that the claims shared with IGN include inaccurate information and that our top priority is to provide excellent customer support, and we are all pleased that customer satisfaction with the service provided by our partners remains positive. See, there you go. There's Nintendo's response.
There you go.
Okay. Anything left to say on this? This strikes me as some dirty pool. That's what I saw.
I agree. Yeah.
All right. Go play the. Go celebrate Mario's 40th by playing that thing made by the fans. Maybe. How does that sound? Look at this. Xbox in the news again.
Tell me about it.
Xbox console prices are going up in the U.S. again. Now I know we did an article about this a couple weeks ago, but that's okay because they're going up again. This is in addition to what they already said the increases were going to be. Xbox consoles are about to go up again, once again in the United States, after already rising back in May. Announced today, Xbox will increase the retail pricing of Xbox Series S, Series X, Series X Digital, and Series X 2TB Galaxy Black Special Edition consoles beginning on October 3rd. Prices for controllers and headsets will not change, and there will be no pricing changes outside of the U.S. at this time. Price increases are as follows. Xbox Series S, 512 gigabyte, $399, up from $20 from $379.99. Xbox Series S, 1 terabyte, $449, $20 from $20. Okay, this is the big one. The Xbox Series X 2TB Galaxy Special Edition. $799.99, up $70 from $729.99. We're getting to the $1,000 console.
Yep. And again, I have to ask, why when you can just get a PC?
Well, how cheap are
You can get a
PCs
PC
at this moment
and
for
you
gaming?
can infinitely improve the graphics, improve the whatever. You have the ability with your own computer to upgrade things that and have as many terabytes of storage as you want. You are no longer able to do that on these consoles. They're getting smaller and smaller. You can have less and less games. They'll take them away from you because you don't own anything on those platforms. And they're going to charge you more and more and more for them. Why are you continuing to do that?
Xbox says, well, to be fair, a lot of Xbox fans this generation did go to PC. They said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And Steam is
They're
working.
smart.
You know, Steam is working on a console, a Steam box, like a consoleized version of Steam. Would run Steam
That seems
OS,
so
but on a
stupid.
box.
That's you know that makes about as much sense as Tesla working on a new internal combustion engine that works on kerosene.
Anyway, well, wait and see, will you, before you judge it? They have the Steam Deck, which is their portable. Maybe the Steam box will be like a cheaper alternative to playing Steam games on a PC.
No, nothing's going to be cheaper.
Okay. Xbox says the price increase occurred due to changes in the macroeconomic environment and adds that in the future it will continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and providing a value to Xbox players. There you go. Xbox as a service, as a platform.
Right,
rather than
so
a
that they can
console.
have their hand in your pocket at all times.
Okay. Well, all right. So I'm done with consoles now. I think most people are. It's getting to that point. Sony screwed up this generation by putting all those live service games like Concord.
Yep.
And of course now they have. I didn't even mention this article, but apparently the director of Ghosts of Yotai was running her mouth on the Charlie Kirk situation too.
Yep.
Which looks bad on the development studio Sucker Punch, especially when they have a new game coming out next month. Which, of course, they changed it from a male lead to a female lead, and I'm getting girl boss energy from it, even though people really liked the last game. But anyway, Steam console should be called the Hot Box. Okay. Moving on to
this was a weird one. This was a really weird.
Yeah, this is strange. Resident Evil actor allegedly shot female driver in wild road rage incident that forced lockdown of New Jersey University. A New Jersey actor best known for his role in the Resident Evil video games was charged with an attempted homicide for allegedly shooting a nearby driver during a road rage incident that sent a nearby university into lockdown. Ernest Wesley Hines, 48, went on a near deadly tirade in broad daylight last Thursday after cutting off a woman while she was attempting to merge at a red light, according to cops. Within minutes, Hines allegedly exited his vehicle and started cursing out a female driver behind him, even threatening to kill her while she sat there in fear, police said. As they approached the light, the male yelled at her, reached his hand out of the window, and fired a single shot, said Captain Marc Esposito of the Galloway Township Police Department. The woman quickly called police and reported she had been shot in the face while Hines sped away and right into the Stockton University campus grounds. When officers arrived, Hines was long gone, and the victim had thankfully sustained a non-fatal wound on her nose, according to the Galloway Township Police. Well, she still got shot on the nose. I hope she can get that fixed. The woman was conscious enough to tell authorities where Hines headed and even provided a description of his white Honda SUV. Authorities were able to use the victim's details about his vehicle to track down the violent driver later that day. Stockton University was in lockdown the entire 3 hours that authorities scoured the campus for the road rager. Hines was cuffed at the residence near campus and charged with attempted homicide. He is being held at the Atlantic County Justice Facility and is expected to appear in court for a detention hearing this week. Police oddly shared his professional headshot instead of a traditional mugshot photo online. The testy thespian hasn't appeared in any relevant project since his short-lived it's a short film called The Soul of Blue Eye in 2014. During a short-lived career, he played an uncredited role in The Sopranos and is best known for providing face models in 2 Resident Evil video games. So I guess they won't be using his face anymore.
I have no idea.
Maybe he thought she was a zombie. Okay. Yes, who the F is this? I didn't know who he was either, but there are actors that work in games. They use his face in one of the games. Maybe he was for Chris Redfield or Leon Kennedy, one of those 2 guys in the games. I don't know, but
Yeah.
he apparently that's don't go shooting at people if they cut you off. Okay, just relax. Just you don't want to cause a campus lockdown. Okay, anything left to say on that?
No, not at all.
You like that picture?
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence to star in Martin Scorsese's ghost story movie, What Happens at Night.
Is it a ghost story Lego movie?
Funny, yeah. You know what I love about the Lego Ghost?
Huh.
It's almost like the Charlie Brown Ghost, or like
kinda, yeah.
Charlie Brown Halloween special, where it's just a sheet with the eyes, but it's got a body under it. And I probably always wonders in these Lego sets, is that a Lego person pretending to be a ghost, or is that an actual ghost? It first showed up in one of the Castle System sets. You could stick a ghost.
It's probably an actual. It's probably supposed to be an actual
ghost, but it looks ridiculous. I know, but I threw that out there because I thought it'd be funny. Plus, it blended into the black background. Anyway, the film is an adaptation of the ghost novel What Happens at Night, which follows a married couple that travels to Europe to adopt a baby staying in a cavernous, fading European hotel filled with eccentric characters. Patrick Marber Closer penned the... he wrote Closer. Is he the guy that wrote the Closer TV show?
I don't know.
In the screenplay? Okay. I mean, I like the Closer. Apple Original Films is in talks to finance and produce the movie with Studio Canal. The movie marks the first on-screen collaboration of Lawrence with Scorsese as a director. Scorsese is the producer of Lawrence's upcoming feature, Die My Love. DiCaprio last worked with his longtime collaborator on Apple's feature Killers of the Flower Moon. DiCaprio can be seen in Paul Thomas Anderson's movie One Battle After Another, while Jennifer Lawrence will be in theaters with Die My Love. The movie comes as Scorsese is balancing a few features in development, including a Hawaii-set crime drama that would star Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. Oh, that's interesting, because they're going to be in a movie together this fall anyway. Where he's playing a UFC fighter, I think. I'm curious though. This is Scorsese doing, I want to say, a horror movie. Is that right? A ghost movie?
That's what it seems to imply. Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it? I mean, how would he do a ghost movie?
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Did he do Shutter Island? Was that a ghost movie? Was that creepy? I didn't see that.
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah, no idea.
I like Scorsese movies, don't you?
Usually, yeah.
Okay. Yes, the ghost figure does glow in the dark because, of course, it does.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so I don't know. This movie actually interests me. I'll say that. I would like to see how. I'd like to see. I also want to see how Tarantino would do a horror movie, which he always talked about doing but never did.
Yeah.
You know what his idea for a horror movie is going to be, Tarantino's? He was going to, all these horror movies that came out in the 1970s that were based on books, he was going to try a book from the 1970s that was popular but never got made into a movie. That was what he was going to try doing.
Okay.
Like a Lost, make like a Lost, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Demon Slayer did well at the box office. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Sky High, in Sony expansion, Conjuring Last Rites communes with 330 million. This is our box office update from last weekend. Downton Abbey finale brings home 30 million. You a Downton Abbey fan?
I've got all the DVDs they put out so far, yeah.
Okay. It was only a matter of time, and what a time it is after making record-breaking waves in Japan this summer and rolling out in staggered fashion elsewhere. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle finally reached a big suite of overseas market in the U.S., this weekend via Sony Crunchyroll. Oddly enough, it was called Demon Slayer Revelations in the United States. I'm kidding. I'm just trying to think of standard American title as opposed to that. Okay. The latter are reporting a new high for the biggest anime opening of all time with 132.1 million global weekend. That breaks down 70 million in North America, plus 29 million from Latin America, and 17.4 million from Europe, 6 million from the Middle East, 5.2 million from India, and 3.2 million from Australia, as well as smaller markets. People do love Demon Slayer. I assume Demon Slayer is about a demon slayer, right?
I should think so. I mean, if I'm going to judge by the title, yeah.
I've watched the anime Goblin Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I love about the anime Goblin Slayer? Goblins are just evil in it, and they have to be killed.
Yeah.
Which is what D&D used to be like, too,
Right.
before they started getting all sympathetic, yes. Okay, note that Sony does not have Korea, Taiwan, or China. In Korea, Infinity Castle is already 34.7 million through today. Number 3 movie of the year on the market. We saw phenomenal Demon Slayer Mugen Train in 2021, and this continues to drive home how popular the genre has become. Well, is it the genre or just this anime in particular that's popular? I mean...
Good question. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of outside of my
your wheelhouse. I gotcha. Yeah. Conjuring Last Rites is still doing well. Added a big 60.5 million in 76 markets during the sophomore session. Well, horror movies are cheap to make, and they don't cost much. Things went quiet. Am I still in the air? Okay, moving on to...
Yeah, Troy accidentally dropped out. He'll be right back.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure because I want to make sure I didn't go dead on the mic. Okay, but yeah, Downton Abbey grand finale seems to be doing okay too. Just released 31 international box mark, and to be fair, I don't think you're expecting Downton Abbey, the grand finale, to make numbers that an Avengers movie would have made, But I think it'll still do pretty good for what it is. Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
It's cool. Anyway, Downton Abbey, politics and gossip, slot for women. Go eat and drink while watching this in the theater. What? Let me tell you something. Downton Abbey is very popular with a group that meets at a library I work for that are very into the British stuff.
Yeah. Netter and I were very much into the Victorian era and reenactments and steampunks and all the conventions and whatnot. And one of the big steampunk conventions was considering moving from the Victorian era into the Edwardian era, particularly because of the popularity of Downton Abbey.
Interesting.
So that's why we really started studying not only Downton Abbey, but digging into it and making, doing the whole analysis of how historically accurate would this be. Obviously knowing that these are fictitious characters in a fictitious...
Why make it steam, though? Why not pick another thing, like electricity or something, or I don't know.
Well, there was talk about that,
starting
to move it from steampunk into an electric...
Early electricity, dynamos and whatnot. Yeah, that might have been interesting, because you might create a whole new thing there with that.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is about a young man who does his best to fight against monsters as part of a Demon Slayer organization in the Meiji Restoration era. Okay, so it's a period piece for Japanese history too. Okay, yeah. So interesting. Okay, so I have nothing against any of these movies, so I'm fine with them doing okay.
Women watch it for the dresses, and then I help my wife to recreate those dresses.
I don't know. There are a lot of movies shows that are popular. There's the whole. There's Bridgerton. There's Sanditon, which I used to call Sandition because I know how to pronounce it. Batman's in the news. Batman comics are in the news. Batman #1 comic sells over 500,000 copies. What the heck? A year after launching a juggernaut publishing line with Batman at its center, DC has another massive Batman comic book hit. The publisher announced that it's Batman #1, a relaunch of the Cape Crusader by writer Matt Fraction and artist Jorge Jimenez, has sold over 500,000 copies. That number puts the title as the top-selling comic of the year, so for a number that is unlikely to be topped, despite one more big publishing event on that calendar, the two-part company crossover comics involving Deadpool and, you guessed it, Batman. Do you see a Batman-Deadpool crossover?
No.
I feel like Wolverine fits the Batman role in that relationship.
If
Because
then you might want to check out the amalgam series that was a joint venture between DC and Marvel, where they took characters from both universes and combined them, and they did exactly that. Batman was combined with Wolverine.
Right.
Superboy was combined with Spider-Man, making him Spider-Boy. Superman and Captain America became Super Soldier, and so forth. Yeah.
Okay, cool. DC was leading the year this year with Batman number 158, which featured the return of DC's chief Jim Lee to drawing duties in a sequel to his and writer Joseph Loeb's now classic Hush storyline. That comic, published in the spring, has sold over 400,000 copies. Another comic at the 400,000 plus sales level was the Invincible Universe Battle Beast number 1 by Robert Kirkman, Skybound, and Image Comics. Bat number 1, which hit source November 3rd, has sold out within comic book distributors and is gone for a second printing, which will arrive in stores October 15th, which new variant foil and cardstock cover. Part of the driving force behind the massive sales is that it's only the 4th time DC has renumbered the comic in the title's 84-year history. Do you think that this is speculators buying this up, or is it just genuine Batman fans excited about this?
I hadn't considered that. I've seen that happen in comics before. It's the stupidest thing you could possibly do, but I guess it could be.
It could be maybe this new line people are excited about it. I was lucky enough to attend Rose City's comic convention in my beloved Portland last weekend, a Batman number 1's incredible launch. Never felt such a thunderous immediate embrace from readers before, Fraction said in a statement to the Hollywood Reporter. It was an astonishing end to an incredible week, and it's only the beginning, so that's the writer of it. The comic reimagines Gotham City with what DC describes as superhero-forward tone, a sleek new Batmobile, and a vivid blue-gray costume. I do like that. I like the return of that. That signals a shift from both style and storytelling. The sales of the new Batman title continue with a strong year not just for Batman, but DC, which has found massive and surprise victory with its absolute imprint, a line of comics that reinvented key heroes and their villains in a time that's now nearing a 1-year anniversary. What do you think? Do you think this comic is any good? Why are people so excited about it? Has anyone in the chat read this comic? Maybe. You know what'll happen though? It'll have its run and people will love it, and they'll get rid of the writer and artist and replace him with somebody that everybody hates, right? Isn't that what usually happens? Even if this is good? I mean, it sounds like they're going right with the tone. I mean, at least the costume. I actually do like the blue-gray costume. I feel it's what's the question? Undervalued?
Yeah.
In fact, it would make sense with this Gunverse if they were to do the blue-gray costume, but I don't know what they're going to do with Batman in the Gunverse because they sell the patents, and I'm tired of the black outfit at this point. I think I liked it with the Michael Keaton Batman, but I don't know. You're not excited.
I've so checked out from DC Comics.
So have I, but I keep hoping they'll get things back up. Of course, they recently had to let the person go. Just last week, we were talking about the person that was ridiculing Charlie Kirk in a Red Hood comic. That's right.
Yeah, and they completely got rid of the entire comic.
Yeah, so.
That one. Well, you can check out last week.
That Batman looks like Nightwing. To be fair, there are other covers where I believe he looks more like the classic one that I remember from the 80s. We'll see. I don't know. But then I get deflated when I read this. Prime Video's new animated comedy pays tribute to Batman and Robin. I'm like, what are they talking about here? Okay, director Mike Roth shared his love for Joel Schumacher's campy 1997 film Batman and Robin by making Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Bane part of the Aging Rogues Gallery in his 2023 family-friendly Christmas movie, Merry Little Batman. He's paying further tribute to Batman and Robin in Bat Fam, his animated sitcom coming to Prime Video in November. The follow-up to Merry Little Batman will see the return of Luke Wilson's Batman taking on the challenges of raising young Damian Wayne with the help of his faithful butler Alfred Pennyworth, voiced by James Cromwell. I'd like to see James Cromwell as butler, but never mind. Alfred is joined by his grandniece Alicia Pennyworth, London Hughes. The character's name is a nod to Alicia Silverstone, who played Alfred's niece Barbara Wilson, aka Batgirl, in Batman and Robin, a major shift Schumacher made from the comics, where Barbara is Commissioner Gordon's daughter. Rather than donning a costume of her own, Bat-Fam's Alicia Pennyworth will be working to rehabilitate former supervillains. I'm hating this show already.
I know, me too.
For starters, I hated Batman and Robin. I've gone on record. It was in my top 5 worst movies of all time.
Yep.
That work starts in Wayne Manor, which will be the home to 3 supervillains who have fallen in hard times. Ra's al Ghul has been effectively turned into a ghost due to magical mishaps, so instead of leading the League of Shadows, he's just doting on his grandson Damien. That sounds terrible. Volcana, the psychokineticist introduced in the 1998 episode of Superman the Animated Series, has been de-aged into a 12-year-old by the Lazarus Pit and is now playing the role of Damien's sarcastic big sister. Man-Bat is the family's slacker roommate, squatting in the belfry and spending his time playing video games and raiding the fridge. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, no. This is obviously not made for me.
Here's the deal. I know some people didn't like Batman the Brave and the Bold, but I feel Batman the Brave and the Bold was actually going back to the comics for its source material. It was just going back to all the weird comics that were in Batman over the years. But they even did an episode where they did an homage to like the Japanese Batman comic that came out in like the 60s, where Robin had a gun. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the villain was Lord Deathman, and they did just. I'm tired of the DC Batman cartoon comedies like Harley Quinn. Now this BS. Oh, I didn't watch Harley Quinn. I was like, no with that. What timeline am I in, and can I leave? No, this is the Clown World decade. Haven't you realized that? Where even the comedic shows aren't funny. Like, you can make Batman funny, a Batman show that's funny, because like on Brave and the Bold, his world is ridiculous, but Batman is still Batman. He's still the same serious, crime fighter. He's just stuck in these ridiculous scenarios that he, of course, has to take seriously, even though you and the audience are like, what's going on here? Like when he ends up on another planet where he has superpowers, and there is a female reporter that falls in love with him, played by the same voice actress that played Lois Lane in Superman, and there's also a supervillain on this planet that's like Lex Luthor. That was an episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold where he basically became like Superman.
And the whole thing about Brave and the Bold is that they were very clearly... I don't even know if you could call it homage. They were literally taking storylines from the Silver Age. From
yes,
the 1960s,
all the weird Silver Age stuff, yes. The episode with Superman where finally Batman runs into Superman, instead of it being like, oh, we have to fight each other, no, they get along because they're both on the same side, because, of course, this is pre-Frank Miller. But the trouble is, Superman starts acting funny in that episode, and he starts saying, I'm King Superman, and it's an homage to all those covers where Superman was doing bad things.
Yep.
And then you find out it was Red Kryptonite. It was Red Kryptonite.
Yeah, exactly.
During the episode, yes. And Batman has to fight
right.
But it was just, I like too, there's a line in it where Batman's helping Superman take down Lex Luthor, and he says, Lex Luthor, you disease maniac.
Exactly.
Homage to Superman the movie
exactly.
But the point is, you can do it as a comedy, and I could still enjoy it, but I don't know about this. I saw the Merry Little Batman thing, and I'm not a big Damian Wayne fan to begin with.
I am not either. Although I do like him better than Jason Todd. I'll be honest about that.
I heard the Super Sons line was good.
Yeah.
Before
and then they made sure they completely destroyed that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Moving on to what other horrors await us. Oh, well...
Well, no, this is basically saying, yep, this is done. You'll never see this again.
Chances of another... Am I only on page 8? I better speed this along. Okay.
We're down to our last 2 articles.
Okay, why do I have so much extra stuff here? Okay. Chances of another Star Trek The Next Generation reunion are 0 to none, according to Marina Sirtis. The third season of Star Trek Picard reunited the Star Trek The Next Generation crew almost 2 decades after Nemesis, their final film together. There have been some suggestions of seeing them together again, but actress Marina Sirtis doesn't see that happening. However, short of a full-on reunion, she wants it known that she's ready to suit up as Troy again if needed. In a video post on Instagram, Marina Sirtis responded to fans asking if she would return to Star Trek, noting it was a difficult question. She first addressed the idea of another reunion with the next-gen cast. I think that the opportunity was missed at the end of Star Trek Picard. If we were going to continue with TNG, I think it would have been an opportunity to do that, but obviously that didn't happen. So the chances of all of us getting together again, I think, are pretty 0 to none. Showrunners Terry Matalas saw Picard Season 3 as a proper send-off for the TNG cast, but there was talk about the possibility of another reunion and perhaps even a return to the big screen in 2023, with Paramount struggling to put together another feature film. Sir Patrick Stewart saw an opportunity, telling IndieWire, I think we could do a movie, a Picard-based movie, not necessarily all about Jean-Luc Picard, but about all of us, and to take many of those wonderful elements, particularly from Season 3 of Picard, and take out that, what I think could be an extraordinary movie. Okay.
I almost didn't include this one because this is another one of those. Yeah, we're all out of work. We want you to know that if given an opportunity, we would do this all again, but it really doesn't look like that's going to be happening. So it's really a non-news thing.
The theme song says that we talk about Star Trek.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We have to include one of those elements at least one stream a night. Anyway,
we didn't talk about Thundercats.
Yeah, that's coming, guys. Just wait. Maybe in 20 years. Anyway, what was I going to say? I had heard a rumor too that they were going to try to J.J. Abrams the Star Trek: The Next Generation crew by just doing a whole new cast.
Oh, God.
And setting it younger.
That does sound like exactly the kind of thing that Kurtzman would want to do. But guys, just sit tight. We've got to see if anything comes of Kurtzman. If Kurtzman leaves, all of this stuff that has happened since Kurtzman took over Trek, all of that becomes decanonized.
Must we? Look, I don't know what's going on with Star Trek. They need to move forward with Star Trek. I mean, TNG was supposed to be moving forward from the original series. They would mention things every so often that happened on the original series, but it wasn't like... Yeah. It wasn't too often. Like, I did like how in the one episode with the time traveler and the time traveler was saying, "Oh, you don't know if you know the events happen here, you could, if you save someone that you're not supposed to save." And he says, "I know, it could be the next Mustache Man or the next Kong Singh." He mentioned Khan Singh. I thought that was interesting how he mentioned Khan in the same name as the guy who I can never mention. Which
makes perfect sense. Yeah. Which makes perfect sense for a Star Trek story. Yeah.
All right, time to move on to our final story of the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Macaulay Culkin recalls John Candy. Macaulay Culkin, a co-starred opposite John Candy in John Hughes' 1989 comedy film Uncle Buck, shared fond memories of the actor comic in the Toronto International Film Festival premiering documentary John Candy, I Like It, I Like Me. In the project, which features interviews from the likes of Culkin and Candy's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles co-star Steve Martin, and is helmed by... so they interviewed Martin in this too, great, and is helmed by Colin Hanks, who executive produced alongside Ryan Reynolds. The Home Alone star noted that Candy watched out for him and was among the first to notice his father's difficult and monstrous behavior. I think he always had that really great instinct. I think he saw Culkin remembered per Entertainment Weekly, listen, even before the wave crested and the Home Alone stuff was happening, it was not hard to see how difficult my father was. He was no secret. He was already a monster. All of a sudden, the fame and the money came, and he was an infamous monster. He was already not a good guy. I think John was looking a little side-eyed, like, is everything all right over there? You doing good? Good day? Everything all right? Everything good at home? All right? Culkin added he felt a paternal energy from Candy, and his looking out for him was a testament to the kind of man he was. It doesn't happen that often, Culkin continued. It actually happened less as time went on. I wish I got more of that in my life. It's important that I remember that. I remember John caring when not a lot of people did. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. This is a big thing in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They ignore the stuff going on with the kids, whereas John here was saying something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Culkin and his brother are real pains. Kieran Culkin have previously spoken about their strained relationship with their father growing up, for whom they are estranged. Macaulay Culkin also said their father was physically and mentally abusive in an interview with Deadline's Toronto studio. Candy's daughter, Jennifer Candy Sullivan, said of her father's treatment of Culkin, "When we hear about Macaulay Culkin, that doesn't surprise me because that's who our dad was. He was going to just... he wasn't just going to ignore a kid because he was a kid actor and he was moving on to something else. It's like he genuinely wanted to know." Director Hanks added the fact that John took that time to check in with Mac and made sure he was doing okay. I related to that, having experienced it myself. John was like that with everybody. He was like that with the people he worked with. He was like that with the people he met on the street. John made you feel important. He made you feel heard. And that was a really unique quality. That was a really unique quality. John Candy, I Like Me will launch worldwide on Prime Video October 10th. You get Prime Video, don't you?
I do.
So you'll be able to watch it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And yeah. I do like John Candy. I did want to put in an article about this documentary that was coming out. And that's it.
There you go.
Where am I on page 8? Oh, now there's nothing left. It says 8 of 20, and then when I go down to page 8, there's nothing left. Something's screwy with this PDF. Did you know
could be you, Doc?
Yeah, oh, it's me, huh? I'm
Could
the problem.
be.
Did you know that apparently someone somewhere made a version of Doom that could be played in a PDF? I kid you not.
Played in a PDF?
Played
Really?
in a PDF.
I can't even imagine how that would work.
It's not as robust as like the version you get on Steam now, okay? But it can be. It has its limitations, but apparently they got it working in a PDF.
Wow, interesting.
I need to try that out sometime. Maybe at work, I'll get into trouble. Anyway, that's it for tonight, y'all. This was Geeky Geezers. Did we learn anything this week? Are we excited for anything this week? Maybe a return to Batman's true form in comics? Maybe? No?
I'm looking forward to getting back to being able to show movies to you guys. We'll be trying to get F1 up and running tomorrow night. I think we'll be okay. So members that missed out on being able to watch F1 with me last week because Cosme was giving me trouble. And actually, I shouldn't blame Cosme. It was actually Windows and the browser giving me an issue. So definitely, if you want to become a member, membership is as little as $2 a month on my channel. Every Monday night is Members Night at the Movies, where we will be watching a movie that usually you guys decide on. I do polls most weeks, letting you decide what we're going to see. Some of them are older classics, some of them are ones you've never heard of before, and some of them could very well be from just this past year. So,
Bad Ronald has to happen.
I want this to be something that
it's gonna go up
I
again.
want my members to enjoy themselves on the members streams.
You have no idea what you're missing out on.
I'm probably
it made it into a book about television disasters, and what was called "What Were They?"
That's all you needed to say. Thank you so much. And of course, Tuesday, fans of Twin Peaks, live from Sparkwood and 21, we will be watching some more short films by David Lynch. From Dynamic 01, at least the first half of that.
Oh, cool.
We got to break it up because it would run well over 2 hours otherwise. So Deleted Scenes and Affiliates, Tuesday night at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, followed by the episode of Blake 7 we should have seen last week, which was Assassins from Season 4. followed by Thursday. Netter, what are we doing on Netter's Network on Thursday?
On Thursday, I have a very special spooky guest. I am the 13th child. Well, he will be telling us about the short story that he wrote.
Another stream that we're attempting again because of technical difficulties the first time around. So
well, that time it wasn't us. It was on his end.
It doesn't matter. It's still the internet hates streamers, and that's what we got to deal with. But
I have had my own technical difficulties. I mean, last week, or this past Thursday, I was having trouble with my internet. So yeah, technical difficulties happen. I think there's like a full moon or something out there, and that's what's been doing it.
I think it's a Tesla moon or something like that. What's the movie? I thought I had mentioned it. It's F1 from earlier this summer. I haven't seen it yet, so this will be an opportunity for me to. And I think Deleted Scene said he hadn't seen it either. I thought he had done a review on it, but maybe not.
It doesn't sound familiar, but.
No, I heard some good things. It's Brad Pitt driving a car real fast, I guess.
Okay, I definitely wouldn't have seen it because I'm not a
big Brad Pitt fan. That's fine, but
no.
What were you saying, Boomer?
It's like Days of Thunder, but new.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to watch Days of Thunder, actually. Okay. And
then Friday, still trying to confirm with a guest for Friday. Otherwise, we'll you know how it goes. We'll be talking about something, and I'll be drinking.
We'll
and
find something fun to
laugh.
talk about, but
exactly.
we'll play it by ear this week. And what about? Did we already mention what's going to be on Netter's channel?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah. What about the movie for Saturday?
The movie on Saturday will be a film starring Jackie Gleason called Geeky
Geeky, yeah. It's a great one.
Sounds French.
It's wonderful.
And as I recall, his role is completely silent, right?
Yes, he plays a deaf mute, and he's actually a prison janitor. He's deaf mute, and he's basically people kick him around because they figure he's handicapped, and so they treat him badly. This particular film was actually, Gleason received a story credit and music credit for it, and it was directed by Gene Kelly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good actor.
Yeah, it's like in the film he's going to befriend a prostitute and her daughter, and they become friends, and I guess they teach him things and he teaches them things.
Cool.
There you go. Alrighty.
And that's going to be it for the week, but be sure to check out Liquid Lunch. If you Troy had already mentioned it, but
yep.
What's going to be tomorrow's idea again?
I'm sorry, say again?
Were you going to talk about anything on tomorrow for Liquid Lunch?
I think I'm going to hold off on deciding until last minute. I think I know what
There'll be news breaking probably in the morning about some new disaster. You could probably
That's probably a good point, too. Something to think about. But all right, cool. Everybody, you guys take care. Let me know what you think of the update of the outro. And any last words? I don't want to close out your show for you here.
No, I'm going to close it out. Y'all have a good week. And thank you, Booker, for stopping by. And tune in next time, and we'll have some more news going on. I'm going to see what's going on with that Alyssa Milano, Jimmy Kimmel situation. So,
geez.
Next week.
Alrighty.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.